I love my traveller's notebook, and now that I'm using it for morning pages, it's always nearby. There's few options better for fountain pens than Midori paper, so if you're a writer, this is the journal for you. Don't let that stop you if you like doing more creative things in your journal, because as you'll see from my pen test, this paper can more than cope with different types of media. Hi, I'm Ruby from the Useful Journal. Like this video and subscribe to my channel for more answers to your journaling questions. Today I'm reviewing a traveller's notebook in the regular size. I will talk to you about the company and their products, the packaging of the journal, the markings, features and construction of the journal and the inserts, the paper. I'll go through my pen test and I'll talk about the company's approach to environmental and social responsibility. This is a longer video than usual, so I will try and talk a bit faster because there is just so much to talk about with this particular journal. Midori is a Japanese company that released their first refillable leather traveller's notebook in 2006 in the regular size, releasing a passport size in 2009. In 2007, Midori changed their company to Design Fill Inc., keeping the Midori brand, and in 2014, they moved the Traveller's Notebooks to their own brand called the Traveller's Company. The brands are not mutually exclusive because many of the inserts for the Traveller's Notebook are still made with Midori brand paper. The journal covers are made in Thailand and the inserts are made in Japan. You can buy Traveller's Notebooks everywhere. Just have a search online and you'll probably find that they're available in a lot of bricks and mortar stores as well. You're also not restricted to simply using the Traveller's Company inserts for your notebook because there are several other companies that make inserts that will fit into the notebook cover as well. The Traveller's Notebook is available in a regular size. The inserts are about 3/4 the width of an A5 page and the same length. The passport size notebook is smaller than an A6 size. The cover of the Traveller's Notebook is leather with rough cut edges that currently come in the standard colours of brown, black, camel, blue and from 2023, olive. There have been other colours over the years, mostly released as special editions or as prizes. The paper comes in a wide range of alternatives with blank grid, lined, dot grid and diary and planner inserts with all different layouts. There is white, cream and craft paper, normal and lightweight paper, sketch paper and watercolour paper. There are stick-in pockets, pen holders and any number of special inserts, along with a special theme and collaborations each year that have their own ranges of products. Basically, you're spoilt for choice and you can mix and match as you please. I bought a starter kit that comes with the leather journal along with one standard blank insert and a spare elastic and the cloth bag. I also bought a lightweight paper insert that has twice the number of pages, an insert that has half the number of pages, and I bought 3 coloured craft paper inserts. The initial outlay for this journal is expensive, but the more inserts you buy and the longer you use your cover, the more economical it becomes. The inserts are usually a reasonable price, but the more specialised the paper or the markings on those inserts, the more expensive they become. To make a traveler's notebook an equivalent price per page to, say, a Notebook Therapy or an Archer and Olive journal, you would need 8 inserts, about 512 pages, for it to even up, and then after that it steadily becomes cheaper. The cost must be weighed against the downsides of the journal. For instance, the pages do not lay flat, and the upsides of the journal, which is the versatility of being able to have multiple types of inserts in your journal at the same time. Unfortunately, there is quite a lot of plastic packaging when you receive your traveller's notebook. The leather journal comes in a cloth bag that is enclosed in a cardboard wrap box that is then enclosed in a plastic wrap, which is then enclosed in a plastic packet. All additional items have their own plastic bag, including each insert, elastic bands, and spare cord. Literally every item. I'm not sure when I would use the cloth bag for the journal, but it does fit the journal with a couple of inserts inside, although the more inserts and the more stuff you have in your inserts, the less likely it is to fit. The cover of the traveller's notebook is smooth leather on the outside, rough on the inside with unfinished edges. It would be simple enough if you had leather stamping tools to personalise the cover, and I have just realised today that I actually do have one of these sets, so I might put my name on my journal. The company name is stamped in very small letters on the back cover in the bottom left-hand corner, along with Made in Thailand. There is an elastic fastened at the centre back with a knot on the inside back that circles horizontally around the notebook. While you can purchase a separate pen loop, I just hook my pen into this elastic. The knot at the back does create a bit of a lump, but would only be noticeable if you are writing in the last pages of the last insert. You can purchase various pockets that stick on the covers of the inserts. I was actually today years old when I learnt that the string inside the notebook cover is actually a bookmark. All the inserts come with plain edges and square corners. It's hard to give a weight for this notebook because it depends on how many inserts you have inside. I currently have 3 inserts in my journal and it weighs 400 grams. The standard insert has 64 pages. The lightweight paper insert doubles that with 128 pages, and the half-size inserts are obviously 32 pages. The specialty inserts vary in size. The construction of this notebook is refreshingly simple. All the inserts are simply staple bound, and I've found all mine to be precisely folded. The elastics on the leather cover are securely attached. You will notice that the leather scratches easily. This is to be expected, and your journal will continue to gather scuffs on the cover over time. Elastic doesn't maintain its stretch forever, so you will notice that when you buy the notebook, it comes with 1 spare elastic in addition to another spare elastic on the cardboard cover that you can remove. These are used to replace the elastic that passes through the back cover to hold the notebook closed. I'm still on the original elastic, having filled 2 inserts, and it's still holding fine. There are lots of videos online explaining how to add more than 1 insert. I personally wouldn't use more than 3 inserts in my journal because once you add the 4th, the pages extend beyond the edges of the leather cover. There are also videos online explaining how to restring the spine elastic on your notebook. You can also add additional strings, and if you want to see someone that really pushes the envelope on how many inserts you can include in a traveller's notebook, check out Cha Cha Note ASMR on YouTube. I've been watching her videos for a couple of years now, and she is the one that inspired me to try a traveler's notebook in the first place. The inserts for the traveler's notebook do not lie flat, even if you remove them from the cover. There are many page clips available from the Travelers Company and other sellers that help to keep the pages open. I'm not madly keen on these because the clips get in the way of writing. The only time I'm bothered by the difficulty of keeping the insert pages open is when I have wet ink, paint, glue, or collage sealer on the page and don't want it to transfer or stick to the opposite page. I also imagine it would be very frustrating to use a ruler, which I don't. It's a bit hard to comment on markings because it very much depends on the insert you choose. However, there are some standard markings across all inserts. The cover of each insert is heavyweight craft card, which is perfect for decorating however you please. On the first page of the insert, there is a box, and then at the bottom of that page is the brand name. The final page of the insert also has the company's brand, along with a little bit of information about the company, but this did not stop me from using that page to write on, and in fact I could have written on the inside of the front cover if I'd thought to at the time. To my knowledge, these markings are all standard regardless of whether you have blank, lined, dot grid or grid pages. For anyone using fountain pens, Midori paper is well known to be a delight to write on and has been improved through the decades to reduce feathering and bleed through while providing a smooth writing surface. There's not a lot of information out there about the paper, and I imagine that's because the company is protecting their intellectual property. Creating paper like this is complex. Products like gelatin and latex are added to fill the pores between the paper fibres and smooth the paper surface, and water-based coatings are added to prevent bleed through. Additional smoothness is achieved in the calendaring process where the paper is pressed between rollers. It's possible to achieve a surface that looks like it's been coated just by increasing the calendaring. I'm tempted to say that Midori uses a mix of all these methods because water doesn't pass through the paper and it's very smooth, like Leuchtturm 1917 paper. I think the standard paper inserts are 80 GSM, going on a handout I found from Travelers Company, and the lightweight paper is 52 GSM. The inserts are either white or cream paper. I did my pen test in the standard weight blank insert, but as I have used the lightweight insert a little with a fountain pen, a Fudenosuke brush pen and watercolours, I can comment on any standout outcomes for this paper as well. I got less bleed on this paper than I've seen on some 120 and 160 GSM papers. The results are outstanding. The only pen to bleed through was the ultrafine Sharpie, which is alcohol-based. Ghosting is far more likely to occur. You can see a shadow of most pens on the reverse side, and when you write a page in fountain pen, the shadow of the fountain pen on the reverse side can be seen, although less so with lighter coloured inks like this brown one. It's even possible to see through to the text on the following page. On the lightweight paper, again there was no bleed, including from the Fudenosuke brush pen, but ghosting was increased compared to the standard weight paper. The ghosting isn't too unpleasant or distracting and doesn't interfere with reading the text on the page. Some people just love the lightweight paper so much they're willing to overlook the ghosting. Unsurprisingly, as this paper is created with fountain pen users in mind, there is no feathering at all on either papers. Lead pencils can be erased cleanly with no shadow, and the paper colour works well with most whiteouts. Because of the smoothness of the paper, you don't get as much texture when using coloured pencils, so the result is a little bland. Inks take 13 to 15 seconds to dry, and highlighting over a Pigma Micron pen shows visible smearing of the ink, putting this paper alongside the worst culprits for smearing. I suppose you have to make some sort of sacrifice to get the results that you do with fountain pens. Finally, I was pleasantly surprised with the ability of both the standard and lightweight papers to coat with watercolours. You won't get the blending and effects you would achieve with watercolours on uncoated papers, and if you use too much water, the colours will swim around on the surface of the page until they dry with lines where the pigment has collected around the edge of the pool of water, but at least they don't bleed through the paper and they don't cause dramatic wrinkling of the page. I kind of like the crinkliness it causes. I'm making that a new word. I just want to add a quick note about the craft papers in the Traveller's Notebook inserts. This paper does bleed, is less likely to ghost, isn't a Midori paper, and will feather. It doesn't appear to have the same level of coating of the Midori papers. It's great fun to play with though. As I explained earlier, Traveller's Company is a brand that is owned along with Midori by a company called Design Fill. There is no meaningful information on the individual brands' websites, but if you go to Design Fill, then they talk a bit more about the paper and the processes that they use. Design Fill provide a page detailing the contributions they are making towards environmental and social responsibility. Most significantly, they describe a shift to green power and LED lighting in their factories, but there are no direct actions in terms of reducing the impact of paper production in terms of forestry and chemical use. The Forest Stewardship Council, which provides the FSC certification, originated in Europe. They're yet to make much of a foothold in Asia. It is happening slowly, but most companies don't try and get the FSC certification. There are a few alternative schemes, but it appears that Design Fill and Midori and Traveller's Company are yet to take up any of these schemes. Design Fill donate to a number of Japanese charities. The company states that the Traveller's Notebook leather covers are made in Chiang Mai in Thailand, but do not provide any other information about working conditions. That said, Thai law requires employers to provide a safe and hygienic workplace and put measures in place that protect the physical and mental health of their workers. Wow, that was a lot to get through. The Traveller's Notebook is designed for the writer, particularly those that like using fountain pens and a more minimal look to their journal. It's convenient to be able to select the inserts that work for you and have multiple inserts in your journal at the same time. For instance, an insert dedicated to work and another dedicated to personal journaling. The downsides are the awkwardness of writing in the inserts, particularly when you have more than one in your cover. And there's also the knot on the back cover is a bit uncomfortable when you're writing on the last pages of your last insert. The cover will definitely get scuffed with use, especially if you're like me and you write out here on a rock in the bush. Considering the number of Traveller's Notebooks that are sold around the world, I do wish that the company was doing a little bit more about the environmental sustainability of their journal and the impact of their paper. Overall, I love my Traveller's Notebook. I love that you're spoilt for choice with the paper and that you can mix and match as you choose and whenever you like. If you found this review useful, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out some of my other videos while you're there. See ya!